As you prepare to close your eyes tonight, understand this. You are standing at the threshold of creation. The night is not a void of rest. It is a living workshop where your unseen thoughts take form and your quiet emotions sculpt the reality that greets you at dawn. Whatever you hold in consciousness before sleep becomes the blueprint of your tomorrow. You are not a passive dreamer. You are the architect of your destiny. When the world is silent, your imagination speaks the loudest, and what it declares with feeling, life must obey. So tonight, you will not drift into sleep as a spectator. You will enter it as a creator, shaping your world with the vision of what you desire already fulfilled. This is not wishful thinking, it is divine law in motion. And if you truly listen and feel this truth as you fade into rest, by morning, the unseen will have already begun to move in your favor. Imagination is the creative power everything that has ever appeared in your world, every experience, every encounter, every possession, was once invisible, born first in the quiet realm of imagination. This unseen world within you is not a fantasy, not a place of idle dreaming, but the very womb of reality itself. When you understand that imagination is the creative power of the universe individualized in you, you will stop looking to the outer world for proof and begin shaping it from within. You are not a spectator in the theater of life. You are the playwright, the director, and the actor all at once. Every scene of your life plays out according to the script you've written in the depths of your consciousness. The world around you is only a mirror, faithfully reflecting the images impressed upon your inner mind. Imagination is the unseen architect of every visible form. Before any invention was brought to life, before any success was achieved, it was first seen vividly in the mind's eye of someone who believed. The airplane, the light bulb, the skyscraper. They all existed in the invisible before they ever graced the visible. In the same way, your desired life already exists in imagination, waiting for you to claim it. The mistake most people make is believing that imagination is mere make-believe. Yet the truth is this imagination is reality, and the physical world is only its shadow. When you imagine with feeling, when you see with the eyes of faith, you are not pretending. You are planting the seed of creation. Your imagination is not something you use occasionally. It is constantly active, shaping your life whether you know it or not. The circumstances you face today are nothing but the harvest of yesterday's thoughts and emotions. The images you repeatedly hold in your mind, the inner conversations you engage in, the feelings you dwell upon, these become the reality you live tomorrow. The outer world bends to the inner vision. If you imagine failure, the world will echo it. If you imagine abundance, the world will rearrange itself to match it. The universe does not choose sides, it simply mirrors what you persistently imagine to be true. The power of imagination lies not just in seeing, but in feeling what you see. You must not merely visualize your desire as if it might happen. You must feel it as though it already has. Close your eyes and imagine standing in the experience of your fulfilled desire. Feel the emotions that naturally arise when it is yours. Let gratitude, joy, and relief flood your being. That feeling is the signal to your subconscious mind, the creative force that never rests. The moment you feel your desire as real, creation begins. The unseen currents of life start moving, aligning people, opportunities, and events to bring your vision into form. Many people wait for evidence before they believe, but creation does not work that way. You must believe first, and then you will see. To imagine successfully is to believe in the unseen more than you trust in appearances. The physical world is the past solidified, it is yesterday's imagination materialized. So, if you wish to change your world, you must begin not with action, but with imagination. The action will follow naturally as a reflection of your new inner state. True transformation begins the moment you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and refuse to accept any contrary evidence. Think of imagination as divine energy directed through focus and emotion. You can shape it like clay, molding it into scenes of abundance, love, health, and peace. Every image you sustain with conviction carves a path in consciousness that must eventually appear in form. The mind is infinite. There are no limits but those you accept. When you understand this, fear dissolves, for you realize nothing outside of you holds power over your destiny. Every limitation is self-imposed and can be lifted the instant you change your inner picture. Imagination is not confined to visualization alone. It is the feeling of being the person you desire to be. You cannot attract wealth while feeling poor, or love while feeling unworthy. Your outer life is only an echo of your inner state. When you embody the state of wealth, abundance will find its way to you. When you embody love, love will seek you out. When you feel whole, the world becomes whole around you. You do not have to chase what you desire. You only have to become the one who already has it. Life will then mirror your being. The greatest secret is this: imagination, when combined with feeling, becomes creation. Every thought you impress upon your subconscious mind is a command. It does not question, it accepts. So, fill your inner world with beauty, faith, and gratitude. See yourself as already living the life you desire. Feel it deeply and rest in that assurance. The world will rearrange itself to reflect your belief. When you finally understand that imagination is the only reality, you will stop trying to change the outer world and instead learn to master the inner one. Tonight, as you prepare to sleep, remember that you are entering the creative workshop of your imagination. What you picture and feel in those moments before rest will move into the subconscious and begin to shape your tomorrow. Fall asleep not as the person you were today, but as the one you wish to be. Let the vision of your fulfilled desire be the final image you hold. When morning comes, do not be surprised if the world seems lighter, brighter, and more aligned, for you will have planted the seed of a new reality, one born from the infinite power that lives within your imagination. Sleep, the gateway to creation. Every night, as you drift from wakefulness into sleep, you cross the most sacred threshold of creation. In that quiet passage between the conscious and subconscious mind lies the divine workshop where reality is shaped. Sleep is not simply rest for the body, it is a return to your creative source. It is the moment when the conscious guard lowers and the infinite intelligence within you becomes receptive, open, and ready to receive the impressions you feed it. Most people waste this sacred moment replaying worries, regrets, or frustrations from their day. They fall asleep feeling unworthy, fearful, or defeated, and then wonder why their mornings greet them with more of the same. But to the one who understands the law of consciousness, sleep is a portal through which new worlds are born. Whatever image or feeling you carry into sleep becomes the seed planted in the fertile soil of the subconscious. By morning, that seed begins to germinate and draw into your life everything necessary for its manifestation. Think of your subconscious mind as a faithful servant, one that never questions your commands. During the day, your conscious thoughts act as the master, directing and choosing what to focus on. But when you sleep, the conscious master steps aside, and the servant begins to act. The subconscious does not distinguish between good or bad, true or false. It simply creates according to the impression you leave upon it. This is why your final moments before sleep are the most powerful. In those minutes, your inner dialogue, your emotions, and your mental images sink deep into the mind's creative depths. You are writing tomorrow's script in the silence of your night. If you learn to fall asleep consciously, with your attention fixed on the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you will begin to experience the miraculous. When you lie down at night, do not take your worries with you. The outer world may seem noisy, uncertain, or unkind, but the power that shapes it lies within you. As you close your eyes, detach from the day. Let go of all tension. Withdraw your awareness from the external and turn it inward. Begin to imagine the scene that would imply your desire is already realized. It could be as simple as hearing someone congratulate you, feeling the weight of the object you longed for in your hands, or sensing the relief and satisfaction of knowing it's done. You do not have to force the picture. Just allow it to unfold naturally until it feels real. Then, as sleep overtakes you, surrender to that feeling completely. The key is not to visualize vividly, but to feel deeply. The subconscious responds to emotion more than words. So, if you can generate the feeling of joy, peace, and fulfillment, even for a few seconds before drifting off, you have given your subconscious the perfect blueprint to create from. Sleep acts as the bridge between imagination and reality, between thought and manifestation. The mind that falls asleep in the consciousness of success cannot wake up to failure. The mind that drifts into slumber with the sense of being loved cannot awaken to loneliness. Each night, you are reborn through the state of consciousness you enter. The world calls it falling asleep, but the awakened soul knows it is entering creation. In that silence, your inner self communes with infinite intelligence. The energy that animates the stars and holds galaxies together begins to mold your desires into form. You do not need to know how it will happen. The subconscious handles the details. All you must do is assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and let that feeling carry you into sleep. When you surrender to this process night after night, the results will astonish you. What you once chased will begin to flow naturally into your experience, drawn by the magnetic power of your faith-filled rest. Many people approach sleep as an ending, but it is, in truth, a new beginning. The moment your conscious mind grows still, creation begins anew. Each night offers you the chance to rewrite your destiny. If you could see the invisible work happening while you sleep, the subtle rearrangement of circumstances, the unseen connections being made, you would never again fall asleep in fear. You would treat those final moments before slumber as sacred, knowing they determine the pattern of your days. Imagine a sculptor carefully molding clay. He knows that his creation takes shape according to the form he gives it. Your imagination works the same way. The subconscious is the clay. Your emotions and assumptions are the hands that shape it. Whatever form you impress upon it at night, it must reproduce in your waking life. If you fall asleep believing you are successful, loved, and secure, life has no choice but to reflect that belief. This is not superstition, it is spiritual law, the law of consciousness in motion. Each night you have two choices. You can fall asleep unconsciously, carrying the weight of your day, or you can fall asleep consciously, entering the state of your fulfilled desire. Choose wisely, for whatever you take with you into sleep follows you into waking life. The difference between struggle and effortless manifestation lies in this one simple act: the ability to rest in faith instead of fear. To sleep in the wish fulfilled is to trust the unseen power working through you. So tonight, as you prepare for rest, close your eyes and whisper silently, "It is done." Feel the truth of that statement. Feel the peace that comes with knowing creation is complete. Do not strain, do not doubt. Simply relax into the awareness that what you have imagined is already forming. As you surrender to sleep, know that the same intelligence that governs the stars and tides is now arranging your world according to your belief. When you open your eyes in the morning, do not look for signs of change with impatience. Simply carry the same calm assurance that filled you the night before. The seed you planted is growing. Life is responding. Your work is not to make it happen, but to rest in the knowing that it is happening. Each night you practice this, your faith deepens, your vibration rises, and your reality shifts. Sleep, therefore, is not an escape. It is the grand entrance into creation itself. Use it wisely, and by morning, you will awaken to the evidence of what your faith has conceived. Feeling is the secret language. The unseen power that shapes your life does not respond to your words, it responds to your feelings. You may affirm endlessly, visualize vividly, or repeat countless positive phrases. But if your inner feeling contradicts them, nothing will move. Feeling is the language of creation. It is the vibration that communicates directly with the subconscious mind, which in turn orchestrates every event, encounter, and circumstance in your outer world. The world around you is not hearing your words, it is feeling your emotions. What you feel to be true, the universe accepts as a command. What you merely say, it ignores. When you understand that your feelings are the bridge between imagination and manifestation, you realize why emotion is not just a response to life. It is the very force that creates it. Every thought you think is wrapped in a vibration. That vibration is what the subconscious reads. If you say, "I am wealthy," but deep down feel lack, your feeling of lack becomes the true message that shapes your reality. The subconscious mind is impersonal. It does not reason or judge. It does not distinguish between truth or falsehood. It only accepts what you feel to be real. So, when you speak your desires, you must do so with the conviction that they are already yours. The key is not to force belief, but to cultivate the feeling of already having what you desire. This inner acceptance is the seed from which all visible results grow. Feeling is not something to be faked. It must be experienced inwardly until it becomes natural. The moment a new feeling becomes normal to you, reality shifts to reflect it. For example, if you desire love, you must feel the warmth, safety, and joy of being loved even before it appears. If you desire abundance, you must feel the confidence and gratitude of one who already lives in plenty. The outer world cannot bring you feelings you have not first accepted within. The universe mirrors your inner state with perfect precision. What you feel consistently becomes your reality, because feeling impresses the subconscious, and the subconscious expresses whatever it is impressed with. So many people live unaware of this principle. They allow their emotions to react to circumstances rather than create them. They wake up and let the day dictate how they feel. If things go well, they feel good. If not, they sink into worry or anger. But the awakened mind knows that life is an inside-out process. The world responds to your emotional tone, not the other way around. When you master your feelings, you master your destiny. When you deliberately choose to dwell in the emotions of your fulfilled desire, you align yourself with the frequency of that reality. The law is precise. Whatever you feel deeply and consistently must take form. To begin, you must first become aware of how you feel throughout your day. Every emotion you entertain leaves an imprint on the subconscious. Negative emotions like fear, doubt, jealousy, or resentment are not to be fought but transformed. You transform them by shifting your attention to a new state, by imagining how it would feel to already be free, secure, and at peace. Do not fight the old emotion, simply replace it with a higher one. Feeling is fluid, and you have the power to change it at will. The more you practice feeling from your desired state, the easier it becomes to sustain it naturally. Feeling is not about excitement or intensity, it is about inner conviction. Some people think they must feel extreme joy or ecstasy for manifestation to work, but that is not necessary. The feeling of calm assurance, quiet satisfaction, or peaceful knowing is far more powerful. When you reach the state of "it is done," there is no need for emotional fireworks, just a deep, steady peace that knows creation has already occurred. That quiet confidence is the mark of true faith. It is the emotional signature that tells the subconscious mind, this is real. And once it accepts that feeling as reality, it moves mountains to make it so. When you lie down at night or meditate during the day, use your imagination to create a scene that implies your desire is fulfilled. It could be a simple act, someone shaking your hand in congratulations, a loved one smiling at you with pride, or you yourself whispering, I did it. Let that scene unfold naturally, and most importantly, feel it. Let your body and mind respond as though it were truly happening now. Feel the relief, the gratitude, the happiness of the wish fulfilled. This feeling is the prayer, the command, the creative act. Hold it gently until it feels natural, and then release it. The moment you release it in faith, creation begins. The outer world cannot resist the vibration of feeling. It must conform to it. The people you meet, the opportunities that arise, and even random events will align to match your dominant inner state. That is why you must guard your feelings as sacred. You cannot afford to indulge in fear or doubt for long, because those emotions, too, are creative. Whatever you fear, you invite. Whatever you love and trust, you multiply. The subconscious is always responding, not to your wishes, but to your feelings about your wishes. Feeling is also the power behind faith. True faith is not blind belief. It is the emotional certainty that what you have imagined already exists. It is the inner knowing that the unseen is more real than the seen. When you live from that feeling, time and circumstances bow before you. You no longer chase manifestations. They come to you effortlessly, drawn by the magnetism of your emotional alignment. Tonight, when you close your eyes, do not simply recite affirmations. Feel them. Let your heart vibrate with the joy of already having received. Let your breath slow, your body relax, and your mind sink into the reality of your wish fulfilled. Fall asleep in that feeling, and let it carry you into the depths of your subconscious. By morning, the invisible forces will have already begun their work. For feeling is the one true language the universe understands, the language through which all creation speaks. When you master feeling, you master life itself. Assume the end, live from it. There is a sacred principle that governs all creation. You do not manifest what you want, you manifest what you are. The secret lies in assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, not merely hoping for your desire, but living from it as if it were already complete. To assume the end means to embody the state of consciousness where your desire is a present fact. It means no longer waiting, no longer longing, but knowing and feeling that it is done. When you live from the end, you shift your vibration, and the outer world must conform to that inner conviction. The unseen power that shapes all life responds not to effort or struggle, but to assumption, the quiet, unwavering belief that what you desire is already yours. Most people make the mistake of living toward their goals rather than from them. They wait for conditions to change before they allow themselves to feel fulfilled. They say, once I have the money, then I'll feel abundant. Or, once I meet the right person, then I'll feel loved. But the law of consciousness works in reverse. You must first feel abundant before money can flow. You must first feel loved before love appears. The feeling precedes the fact. It is the cause behind every visible effect. Living from the end means assuming the inner state of already being the person you desire to be. Here now, without waiting for external proof. This is not pretending, it is creation in motion. Assumption is not a mental trick, it is a spiritual act. It is the deliberate acceptance that the unseen is more real than the seen. When you assume the end, you withdraw your attention from appearances that contradict your desire and instead focus entirely on the reality you wish to experience. You enter the scene in imagination, feeling the joy, the peace, and the satisfaction of its fulfillment. You dwell in that feeling until it becomes natural. The moment it feels real to you, creation begins. The outer world is only a delayed reflection of your inner assumption. Whatever you persist in assuming, life is compelled to mirror. When you assume the end, you no longer beg for your desires to come true. You no longer chase or strive. You rest in the knowing that it is already done. This rest is not laziness. It is divine confidence. It is the stillness that comes when you align your inner world with the infinite intelligence that creates worlds. You no longer question how your desire will unfold, because you understand that the how belongs to the subconscious, to the universe itself. Your only task is to maintain the feeling of the fulfilled state. Once you've done that, invisible forces begin to move. People, circumstances, and even random events align perfectly to make your assumption a fact. Living from the end requires faith, faith in the unseen reality that already exists within you. This faith is not blind belief, it is inner knowing. It is the quiet certainty that imagination creates reality. To assume the end is to act as though your desire were already a living truth. You speak, think, and respond to life from that state. If you wish to manifest success, think, act, and feel as the successful one now. If you wish to manifest healing, dwell in the consciousness of wholeness. If you desire love, live as one who is already cherished and valued. This is not delusion, it is divine alignment. The world cannot resist the vibration of one who knows their wish is already fulfilled. The test of assumption lies in persistence. The outer world may appear unchanged at first, and doubt may whisper that nothing is happening. But remember, the physical world is slow to catch up because it is the shadow of your inner world. Shadows take time to move. Do not abandon your assumption because of temporary appearances. Continue to live from the end, even when all evidence seems to contradict it. The unseen realm is already rearranging itself to match your inner conviction. The delay is only a sign that creation is unfolding in perfect order. When you assume the end, you must also release the need for control. Many people sabotage their manifestations by constantly checking for signs or worrying about results. This restlessness is a sign of doubt, and doubt dissolves the very state you are trying to sustain. True assumption is peaceful. It trusts completely. It knows that what has been accepted within must express without. You no longer need to force outcomes. You only need to remain faithful to your inner vision. That is the meaning of living from the end. Unwavering trust in the unseen until it becomes seen. You can practice assumption in every area of life. If you desire financial abundance, close your eyes and imagine checking your account, feeling the thrill of seeing more than enough. Feel the relief, the gratitude, the confidence that comes with security. Dwell in that state as long as you can. If you desire better health, imagine moving freely, breathing deeply, and feeling vibrant energy pulsing through your body. Feel that aliveness now. If you seek love, imagine the warmth of companionship, the gentle laughter, the sense of being deeply valued. Live in that emotion until it feels like home. Each time you assume the feeling of the fulfilled desire, you are building the invisible pattern from which your new life will emerge. To live from the end is to rise above the illusion of time. It is to realize that everything you could ever desire already exists in potential form within you. You are not trying to create it, you are simply aligning with it. Time is the interval between assumption and realization, but in consciousness, both are one. When you dwell in the state of fulfillment, time collapses and the unseen begins to crystallize. The more you persist in this state, the faster it must appear. Tonight, as you prepare for rest, enter into your desired reality. Let go of effort, let go of struggle, and simply become the one who already has what they desire. Feel the relief of completion, the gratitude of having received, the calm assurance that it is done. Fall asleep in that state and let your subconscious bring it to life. When morning comes, carry that feeling with you as your new identity. Live as though your dream were already real, because in truth it is. The outer world will follow the inner world unfailingly. This is the great secret. When you assume the end and live from it, life itself must bow to your conviction. Faithful rest in the desired state. When the day draws to a close and silence settles around you, you stand at the gateway between the seen and unseen worlds. This sacred moment before sleep holds more creative power than all the hours of your waking life combined. It is here in the stillness of night that you are invited to rest. Not in worry, not in uncertainty, but in the complete assurance that your desire is already fulfilled. Faithful rest in the desired state is not idleness. It is the highest form of spiritual activity. It is the deliberate surrender to the reality you have chosen within. To rest faithfully means to let go of resistance, to release the urge to control outcomes, and to allow the infinite intelligence within you to bring forth the results in its own perfect way. When you master this art of resting in the wish fulfilled, you unlock the power to manifest with ease. Most people go to bed carrying the weight of the day. They replay arguments, disappointments, or fears of what might come tomorrow. Unknowingly, they plant seeds of anxiety and lack in the fertile soil of their subconscious mind. They fall asleep rehearsing everything they don't want, and then wonder why life continues to repeat the same cycles. But the one who understands the creative law uses the night differently. They know that the state in which they enter sleep is the state that will be magnified and expressed in the physical world. The subconscious never sleeps. While the body rests, the inner self continues to create, building realities out of the emotional patterns impressed upon it. When you rest faithfully in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you set into motion unseen forces that will work tirelessly while you dream. Faithful rest is born of trust. It is the calm conviction that what you have imagined is already taking shape. You do not need to know how it will happen. You only need to know that it will. This is the essence of faith, a quiet, unwavering assurance that the unseen is real. Faith does not plead or beg. It does not anxiously watch for signs. Faith simply rests. It knows that creation is complete and that time is merely the servant carrying out the order. When you rest in faith, your entire being aligns with the vibration of fulfillment. The tension of effort dissolves, and your consciousness becomes a channel through which divine intelligence expresses itself freely. The process of faithful rest begins by withdrawing your attention from the outer world. As you prepare for sleep, close your eyes and turn inward. Let the noise of the day fade. Detach from the concerns that once demanded your focus. In this quiet sanctuary within, imagine the scene that would exist if your desire were already realized. See it vividly, not as something distant, but as something happening now. Feel the emotion that would naturally arise, the gratitude, the peace, the joy. Let that feeling wash over you like a warm tide. The key is not to force the emotion, but to allow it to bloom gently until it feels natural. Once you have captured the essence of that feeling, let it carry you into sleep. Drift into slumber as the person who has already received what they asked for. To rest faithfully means to release the need for proof. You do not check the outer world for validation, because your conviction does not depend on evidence. The moment you look for signs, you affirm their absence. Faith, on the other hand, affirms presence, the knowing that the unseen is already done. The power of faithful rest is that it bypasses the conscious mind's tendency to doubt or analyze. In sleep, the conscious resistance dissolves, and the subconscious, the true creator, receives the impression as fact. This is why so many miracles occur after a night of deep, peaceful belief. The mind that sleeps in faith awakens to a changed world. Faithful rest also transforms your relationship with time. When you rest in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you no longer measure progress by external circumstances. You understand that everything unfolds in divine order. What appears as delay is simply alignment in motion. The universe does not work in haste, it works in harmony. When you trust that timing, you release the impatience that blocks creation. You rest because you know that what is yours cannot miss you. The law of consciousness ensures that every assumption persistently held must be expressed. Your rest, therefore, is not passive. It is creative alignment with that eternal truth. To rest faithfully is to embody the peace of completion. Think of how you feel when a task is done, when a burden has been lifted, or when a promise has been fulfilled. There is a calm satisfaction, a quiet joy, a sense that all is well. That is the feeling you must bring into sleep each night. You are not wishing or hoping, you are accepting. You are declaring silently to yourself, it is done. This inner knowing is the signature of creation complete. The more you rest in that consciousness, the faster the outer world adjusts to reflect it. If fear or doubt arises, do not resist it. Simply return to the feeling of faith. Remind yourself that your imagination is the womb of reality and that what you hold there in peace must come forth in time. The storm of worry cannot coexist with the calm of belief. The moment you choose faith, the storm subsides. Faithful rest is choosing peace over panic, certainty over confusion, surrender over control. It is the most powerful form of manifestation because it requires no struggle, only awareness. Tonight, as you lie down, let your heart whisper gratitude for the unseen blessings already unfolding. Feel yourself surrounded by the life you have envisioned. Sense the reality of your desire as though it were already part of your world. Rest in that assurance. If your mind drifts, gently return to the feeling of completion. Say silently, thank you. It is done. Then let sleep take you. In that faithful rest, the seed of your new reality is planted. By morning, the unseen will have begun to move. People, events, and circumstances shifting silently to align with your state of being. For the one who learns to rest faithfully in their desired state, life becomes effortless. There is no more chasing, no more forcing. Creation flows naturally because you have aligned yourself with the creative rhythm of the universe. Faithful rest is the bridge between imagination and manifestation, between desire and fulfillment. It is the final act of creation, the quiet surrender that allows the invisible to become visible. When you learn to sleep in peace, you awaken in power. And each morning, the world will mirror the faith that carried you through the night.